All right, we're back. It's COMP213. It's week 9, lesson 9, part 3, right? And last day we were talking about two-column layout and some other things. Let me just go in there right now and take a look at that, right? If I was going to look at the stuff we were covering, which was, oops, this is the wrong stuff. We were looking at two-column layout, page layout basics, which is where we were at last time. Let's see if we can bring this up. And we talked about positioning with a fixed positioning, a nav bar, if you will. How to fix position a nav bar. That's kind of where we last left off. We're going to get into more of that stuff, more of positioning, because I want to get into the difference between absolute positioning and relative positioning and all that kind of stuff. We want to talk about what those what that position stuff means. So I'm going to get into that very shortly, right? But I want to start off with today's, the assignment 4 details that are up on, if you want to look at, there's a couple places I put them. If you go to facilityweb.centennialcollege.ca and then /Tsiliop, TTSILIOP, and I got to be on the right network to do that. Like, I got to be on the secure side to get there. And I think so do you. There we are. You guys see this? This little page? Under schedule, right, I've added in assignment 4, right? So if you actually click on assignment 4, there's a PDF. This is one way to get it. Here's my PDF, right? And the other way to get it is in eCentennial. I've actually put it in there in eCentennial, right? So I got both places. Let's take a look at this thing. So assignment 4, what we're going to be doing is it's due week 11. Today we're in week 9, right? So it'll be week 11, a couple weeks from now, on the Friday at midnight. So that's Friday, July 24th at midnight is when this thing is going to be due. It's worth 5% of your final grade, right? This assignment. Now I'm going to give it 20 points. When I say points, what I do is I like to try and give 20 little places where I look at your assignment to see how I'm going to mark it. Here's what the assignment's about. I want you to, and this is coming from, again, Professor Falati's assignment. This is, I just modified what she gave me. Implement an HTML document containing an online evaluation form for CE, continuing education courses offered at the college, right? A screenshot of the scanned paper-based form can be seen on the following page. So here's what the paper-based form looks like. Actually, this is just a scan. Okay, so it's like literally a form. Now we haven't covered forms yet, but we're going to do that a little bit today, hopefully, and next week, right? So you're gonna get to know forms, but there's going to be stuff you can start prepping without understanding what a form, how to kind of put together a form, how to do that is, right? Let's go back. So that's a screenshot there. Make sure to ask the same type of questions, even if you edit the wording slightly. So in other words, it says here, in this example, I'm just going to zoom in here so you can see it. I'm going to kind of zoom in a couple spots here. It says, hey, please read each statement carefully and blah, 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 my course name and code, semester, fall, winter, spring, and summer, and so on. You can see how you can put some of these elements in place. My instructor, and then, you're going to fill out the form. You're going to get the person to fill out the form. Now, one thing I have to note is, the question you may have is, hey, does the form have to work? And the answer is no. This is just the front end we're building. We're not actually doing the back end piece of the form where it's going to go send to somebody, because it won't do that right now. We're not making a form that's interactive that's going to work. I want you to build the front end of the form, right? So it looks like this. Okay, so how do you make a form look like this approximately for your assignment? Okay, so that's one piece. It says you can also modify the layout of the form. So if you want to modify the layout so that the questions appear a little bit differently than this, that's fine. You can do that too. There's some flexibility there in terms of how you're going to put things together, right? The next one is you want to create a banner, right, containing an image from the college website and create a link from the image to the college website, okay, the home page. So what does that mean? So if I go to the college website for a second, so in this case I'm choosing Centennial College, Well, you don't have to choose Centennial College. If you want to make some other college website, they want to go there. By the way, I love the speed of our intranet this week. It's been fantastic. I'm lying. But if you go here as an example, and if you go to this, it's got a link to this, www.centennialcollege.ca as an example, right? Okay, that's one. So that's one of the things it needs to do, right? You got to create a banner, right, that contains an image, right, from the college website. So maybe you want to grab something like this, Centennial College, right, with a banner that kind of takes you there. Okay, that's the one thing. Use the colors of your choice in the form and harmonize them with the palette of the chosen college website. Hint, you do not have to use a yellow background as in the scan paper form. All right, so what are the colors? I'm going to ask you first. Jean, what are the colors of our, if you were going to use the Centennial College website, what are the colors of the website? What are the college colors? Well, you see it's kind of a black, right? John's not answering me. He's looking at the form out there in the you know. How about Kevin? Kevin, you tell me. What are the colors of the website?
This website?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to point back to this one, right? What are the colors? Well, you see a little bit of this puce yellow, kind of a green color. There's the green color here. There's this kind of dark, almost a black color here, right? They do have some reds in here and some blues. It's got to match up. Your form's got to look like it belongs, right, with the style of the website. So it can't be something that doesn't look like it looks out of whack. And again, if you look at another college, like let's say if you looked at a college website that you know, not Centennial, then it would have different colors, obviously, and you want to try and match up the colors to the form. Okay. And okay, do all the styling of your form using CSS rules saved in a separate CSS style sheet, which we talked about already, right? Make sure the website and the email addresses on the sample form are implemented as hyperlinks that the user can interact with. Okay, that's kind of easy. So if your form example, if you click on an email address on the sample form, let's take a look at the sample form here, right? These little email addresses down here. I'll zoom in here for a second. Let's take a look. This one. Centennial College CA Continuing Education, and that's the website. It should link there. And then this email, continuing education at centennialcollege.ca. If you click on this, right, it should email you. You should do that mail to kind of link and email or start making your email program launch. Okay. Upload your assignment 4 HTML file to the student web server. We're just going to do that today. And then provide a hyperlink to it from your indexed HTML file. Right? So, in other words, your assignment 4 HTML file is going to be on your main site that you made for Professor Falati the first time. So you have your own website, and you want to make a link to it just like you normally did for assignment 3 and 2 and 1. Okay, that's really what this assignment's all about. Okay. Any questions around this? So really, you're making a form. How do you submit your work? I want a zip archive of your complete project file submitted to eCentennial Dropbox, or if you're someone who likes to use GitHub and you know how to do that, you can certainly give me a GitHub link. I don't expect you to know how to do this because I haven't trained you how to do that at this point, but you can certainly do that if you know how. Most of you are, I'm expecting you to give me a zip archive. I want your project files. I don't want to just look at your live site. Your site must be live though on studentweb.sencall.ca, because remember, you're gonna place your new form, right, on your website that you've already created. It's got to be live. And I know in the past you've got 0 if your site doesn't go live. I will give you part marks if it's not live, and you give me the site files, right? So if I can look at the site files and see, well, you know, he or she, they had the good idea here. They were kind of, this was correct, right? But somehow on the actual site itself, it doesn't work, right? That may happen. You might have a broken link or something. You'll lose marks, but I'm not going to give you 0, right? So please take a look at this piece as well from a submitting your work perspective. The other thing is that late submissions. I'm going to take 10% off for each additional day. I'm not going to let you submit forever, but I'm going to continue taking 10% off each time. And also the other thing I wanted you to know is please don't take external code. Like don't steal code from somewhere else and use it in your website, even if it's another CSS file or whatever. I don't want you to use a framework like Bootstrap for your website. This is something that you're going to write from scratch. All right, so I don't want you to use a framework like Bootstrap or Foundation or something else, or anything else that makes your website look sexy. It's not about that right now. It's about learning HTML5 and CSS3. And again, we're going to create an online form, an evaluation form to learn how to use forms. Now we haven't talked forms yet, but we will. When we talk about forms and how to put those things together, that's one of the things we're going to be doing. So again, this comes from, if I go back, our weekly schedule on centennialcollege.ca. CityOps, my schedule HTML site, has assignment 4 details there. You can also get them if I go to My Centennial. If I log in, let's say if I was you, I can log into My Centennial. And if you log into My Centennial, you're also going to have under eCentennial, I'm just going to go to your courses for a second. What section are you guys again? Are you guys, because you guys are all mixed and matched, right? Are you section 1, 2, or 3? Doesn't matter.
3.
Are you 3? Okay. Let's go into section 3, if you're mostly 3. Under Dropbox, if you look under Dropbox, there is assignment 4 evaluation form there as well, where you can download the PDF, and it gives you the due date, which is July 24th at 11:59 p.m. So I would like your files. I would like to see your files. And I would like you to zip them up and send them to the Dropbox. So if you haven't done that before with Professor Falati, I like to see your files, so please do so. Please put them up there. Any questions around this? So again, assignment number 4 is out. You're going to make an online evaluation form, and it's due July 24th. That's a Friday at 11:59 p.m., midnight, just before midnight. Okay, so lots of time, a couple weeks to put this thing together. It's worth 5% of your final grade. And that's it for this one. And I'll go on to the next piece. We'll talk about how to publish stuff on Centennial College using Visual Studio.